All right, so we're set to go. This time we move to the distaff side as the ladies do battle in the 135-pound division. As you see coming into view now is Julie Kedzie. Julie's a good one, 8-6, 21 years practicing. Jeff, you know all about her.
Yeah, Julie Kedzie not only coming in with the new black hair, but says she feels very, very invigorated with new training partners. You see Greg Jackson in her corner. She says she feels like a brand new fighter, a brand new person, and said she started her career in her last fight rather than ignoring those 13 matches before her last one here in Bodog fight. And she says she's here to make yet another positive performance.
Well, she fought in the United States on the Showtime on Elite XC, and she lost to Gina Carano, but she gained a ton of fans while doing that because she's so personable. As she is Julie Kedzie. In April, she beat Yulia Bereskova in the second round by just outstriking her into submission. Julie Kedzie, a good one, 8-6 from Greenwood, Indiana. And here comes one of the most personable young ladies you'll see outside of the ring and an absolute tigress in the ring. She's Kelly Kobold. And another one with a lot of power, Jeff.
Yeah, Kelly possesses a lot of strength. So originally used to fight at about 160 pounds. Now fights at 135. A great performance against Tara LaRosa when many people thought Tara would dispose of her in the first or second round. Even Tara LaRosa says she feels Kelly Kobold will win this fight tonight.
And let us stress here that that is the only loss that she has incurred over her 18-fight career.
So Julie Kedzie and Kelly Kobold, it should be a war, and we're waiting for it to get underway here momentarily. These are two, as I mentioned, absolute lovely ladies outside the ring and tigresses in the ring.
And also making note that standing in the corner of Kelly Kobold, our reigning world welterweight champion, Nick the Goat Thompson.
All right, so we're set to go. Let's get this one underway. Here's our ring announcer, Don Andrews. Don?
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first the fighter standing to my right, fighting out of the red corner. She stands 5'5" tall and weighed in at 134 pounds. With an MMA record of 8 wins and 6 losses from Albuquerque, New Mexico, please welcome Julie Kedzie. And standing to my left, fighting out of the black corner, she stands 5'6" tall and weighed in at 135 pounds. With an MMA record of 16 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw. From Minneapolis, Minnesota, please welcome Kelly Kobold. Your referee in charge of the action, Mr. Carlos Diaz.
And Carlos will call him in.
Ladies, you're already receiving instructions in the dressing room. Please defend yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves. Have a good fight. Go back to your corners. All
right, with a little bit of white trim on the black trunks is Julie Kedzie, and the solid black trunks with a little bit of writing on the front, and on the behind is Kelly Kobold. Again, two very personable fighters outside the ring. You watch them inside the ring. You're going to love this.
Fighter, you ready?
Fight! Here we go. Kelly Kobold sets up in front of him. There's a front kick. Look at that, again by Kedzie, holding her off. Kobold wants to come in and use her power of the blast, and she's facing those kicks.
Now, one thing these two are very good at is clinch. Both of them like to work in the clinch. You see Kelly Kobold trying to grab a single leg. And, oh, nice knee from Kobold to Julie Kedzie.
Yeah,
this is
go ahead, sorry.
Going to be a very, very aggressive fight, especially in the clinch.
Yeah, she had, I thought she was going for some sort of guillotine there to begin with. It had her wrapped up around the neck and then smashed her with a knee. A nice Muay Thai move there. Watch the knees again of Kobold here. She's really working on the legs of Julie Kedzie.
Kobold likes to expend a lot of energy. You will physically hear her with every shot she throws. She throws it with deadly intentions.
Kedzie trying to push her away, get her off her if she can. Either that or wrestle her down and some sort of throw to get her down on the canvas. But Kobold's not allowing this to happen. She keeps the pressure on her. The arms come around by Kedzie. Kobold has a kind of a nice sprawl there as she keeps that position with the legs separated. Go ahead, Jeff.
Nice left hand by Kelly Kobold, but it's Kedzie trying to get both underhooks in. At this point, she has one over, one under. Against someone like Kobold, you're going to need both in there because you can see a noticeable strength advantage Kelly Kobold.
Yeah, definitely. Every time Kedzie seems to get Kobold's back to the ropes, which is what she wants, Kelly muscles her around. It's minimal technique and just muscle power, wrenching Kedzie around and pressing her back into the ropes.
So Carlos Diaz separates.
Oh!
Look at this! How about that? Right back, she ties her up again, puts her right back with a corner.
Yeah,
with
that's
the back.
testament to the training of Greg Jackson, as Julie's been looking more and more lethal with those kicks, and also testament to the toughness of Kelly Kobold. Her knees buckled, she dropped and then sprung right back up and rammed Julie Kedzie into the turnbuckle.
Well, that's where she wants to keep her. At least it looks that way as she comes with those Muay Thai inside kicks again with the knees. And there's the knee again. You see the leg wrapped up by Kedzie, who would like to throw her down at some stage here, I presume anyway, Jeff.
Yeah, one thing that we saw in the Tara La Rosa fight with Kelly is that she's wide open for those sweeps and takedowns. It sometimes gets a little careless with the clinch, but when you're throwing knees like she is, it's working in her favor at this point.
At this point it is, and she will continue to try and get those Muay Thai knees in. There's one. Stomps on the foot a little bit, does Kedzie. Kedzie in the clinch does a pretty good job, but she's on the receiving end of a lot here. She'll try to wrap that leg around and get Kobold off her by throwing her down. Kobold continues to press her up against the ropes, and Carlos Diaz has to make up his mind. Am I going to let it stay in this fashion, or am I going to drag them back out again?
And this fight is showing why Bodog Fight has the best female mixed martial artists, because we are the only group that have the women fighting to the same standard as the men. And look at this pace when they have a 3-5 minute round fight ahead of them. And now it's Kedzie with the takedown, Jeff.
Yeah, just as I said, she's wide open for those single leg sweeps, as we saw in the La Rosa fight where Kelly was taken down, I believe, about 12 times by similar takedowns.
Kobold trying to close the guard up. It's in the opening, and now it's in the closed guard, and Kobold pulls her into her. Doesn't want Kedzie to have position so she can get that old ground and pound going. So she's got those legs up.
You see Kedzie doing what's called posturing up. She's even looking at the ceiling, keeping her chin back so she doesn't get pulled down. But Kobold making her pay.
Yeah, and Kobold's fight previously, before she got into Bodog Fight, she fought A.J. Jenkins and literally broke her face with similar hammer shots just like that.
Well, you only have 2 shots if you're not raining down. That's the posture up, as you said, Paul, or get yourself in close. Look at these shots with the backside of the hand.
Yeah, listen to them. You can hear the thuds and thunder.
And look at this. Raining down the thunder is Kedzie. Kobold holds her in tight to try and stop some of that, so Kedzie blasts away at the ribs. Trying to close that guard up and hold her high and hold her close to her so she can't rain down the punishment. Meanwhile, she grabs the arm, but she's not going for any submission. And here's Kedzie letting fly again, so she gets up. She wants Kobold to come up and see what they can do in the striking game here. And they're right back at it again as she ties her up back into the clinch. Only this time it's Kedzie putting Kobold with her back up against the ropes.
Yeah, one thing I remember Kobold, one of her fights at 160 pounds, it was quite boring with the clinch, but both of them are working out of it. Julie has also been criticized for not being active sometimes in the clinch, but dropped Kelly Kobold earlier in the round, and in my opinion is ahead on the scorecards.
Well, she had the takedown. We're in the closing seconds now of this first round, and pretty action-packed. And down they go again. And on top with a bit of advantage now is Kedzie.
And no better way to punctuate what it was probably already a dominant round than getting a takedown seconds before the final horn. Jeff, what's your take on the score here?
I tell you what, dropped her with that high kick early in this round. Kobold gained her composure, didn't lose it one bit. Her defense was very, very tight on the ground when Kedzie got her there. She was able to throw those hammers at Julie Kedzie's face, even in a defensive position. But it was those textbook leg trips there in the end and in the middle of the round that kind of stole it for Julie Kedzie. 10-9, in my opinion, for Kedzie.